My God, men used to go to war. Men used to go to war, now they're setting up tents at Coachella. Men used to go to war, now they're fashion niggas. Men used to go to war, come home, and beat their wives. Men used to go to war, come home, and beat their children. Men used to go to war, come home, and curse the entire bloodline with generational trauma, abuse, alcoholism. You wanna know how men having to go to war affects you today? Your grandpa used to beat your grandma. Your grandma took that out on her children. Her children took that out on you, and now you have BPD. Look where the war got you. I'm so sick of this generation on both sides glorifying war. Like it's the men and the women. From the boys' side, it's like, oh, I can't wait to go out into battle and look at a picture of my wife in a locket and remember what I'm fighting for and come home and hear my war stories. You're not coming home. Hate to tell you there was a good chance you were not coming home. And the women are like, there's no more real men. Men used to go to war. They used to fight for women. They used to fight women. Mind you, both my parents are war veterans. They're not even 50 yet. I would have much rather have my father, doing something he enjoyed than being in the damn trenches over in Iraq. Maybe then he'd be mentally stable. I don't know. Need y'all to stop and think before y'all say stuff. Just need y'all to stop and think.
I think you deserve an award for 2 world wars. And you are also plastering this on there saying an entire genealogy was eradicated from Earth because of men going to war. Yes! That is almost the point! We are so close, we are so close. If we just put our thinking caps on really quick. Just really quick, put it on. Do you have yours with you? Is it in the dirty laundry or next to the hamper? The problem is what y'all do and what y'all glorify. Do you understand? And the other big issue is why do you guys hold this shit up on a pedestal? Do you even think about who is controlling your little mind? Who is making you go to these little wars? To you, it is a trophy, okay? But if we come back to reality and really read what this says, it's a bit insane. Be grateful. You are a tool and a pawn in the patriarchy game. There is a reason that you guys are violent. So you all fight amongst yourselves and think it is a good job. You hurt the women below you, you hurt the men next to you, and you never look up at the top because you are too busy glorifying strange things, by the way. Okay? But it was all part of the plan.
Many people are romanticizing war and saying it like, oh, men used to go fight in wars. Now look at what they do. First off, it's a good thing not to go fight in war. Believe it or not, it's actually good. It's good for your body. It's good for your mental health. But guess what? Men are still fighting wars. If it's not directly in your own country, it's in some other country somewhere else. It always has been that way, and it always will be that way. Unfortunately, war is not a good thing. War is hell. There is no winner in war at the end of the day. Sure, it might be land, it might be a treaty, but it was for somebody at the top. Because what always happens? The rich always send the poor to do their bidding. Well, they might romanticize it like manifest destiny, westward expansion, going west to spread the gospel as we take over this land, this tribe, etc., this country, Philippines, Hawaii. There was a time, the counterculture in the 60s, where war was actually frowned upon. Among the youth, among younger adults in their 30s and 40s, like, hey, maybe we shouldn't be in Vietnam. Maybe this is a mistake. And a lot of boomers, not all, but a lot of boomers seem to be on the warmongering side today. If you look at our politicians, a lot of them are funded by Raytheon, General Dynamics, Lockheed Martin, and they lost that counterculture youthfulness about them. Like, oh, we gotta go conquer this vessel, whatever. My point is war should be feared, and it should always be a last resort. Always a last resort. Last war that we were involved in that felt somewhat justified would be World War II because of Pearl Harbor, and then immediately AH declaring war on the United States. I think it was either the next day or the next week, right after Pearl Harbor, Germany declared war on the U.S. And that's what got us into that war. But it seems like war is romanticized for past generations, cultures, like it's cool, like it makes you tough. And I don't see it that way. I truly don't see it that way. To me, I see it as people at the very top using it for political gain, financial gain, power gain at the expense of those who are less fortunate in their life circumstances. I do have a nostalgic view of the 60s in my brain. I think I love the music. I love the movies. I love how anti-war it was. Most of the people, that was the cool thing to be. And I have this like affinity with it, in my head about, well, that's how we should all be. It should be about peace, not who's got the biggest ship, the most bombs, the most guns, the most missiles, the most jets, etc. Person who does believe in God, Jesus Christ himself. I believe in Christ. He said, blessed are the peacemakers. Not the war makers, not the warmongers, the peacemakers. Like, it's really straightforward, that and the golden rule, treating others the way you want to be treated. It really is that simple. But enough of me ranting. But people are still fighting wars. Men still fight wars. There's a lot going on right now.
You know when people would make jokes about World War III, and people would be like, ha ha ha, what are you talking about? World War III? Impossible. But World War III is not looking so far-fetched anymore, ladies and gentlemen. World War III is not looking so far-fetched. It's not looking so far-fetched. Because every single day, when you try to see what's going on in the world, one country is bombing another country, one country is bombing another country, retaliating. And guess what happens during war? We suffer. We, the average men, the average women, suffer. I'm not into politics. I mean, you kind of are into politics by default because I'm Nigerian originally. So, I'm not into party politics. I'm really not into party politics. What does party politics mean? Party politics is when you tie your identity to a political party, right? In Nigeria, you have the PDP, the AP, and the ANC. Oh, no, not ANC, South Africa, another party, right? In America, you have the Republicans, you have the Democrats. That's party politics. When you tie yourself to a political party. Me, I don't do party politics. It's not me. What I do, however, is developmental politics. That's what I care about. Developmental politics. What does that mean? That simply means, regardless of the party, how can we move this forward for the greater good of everybody? That's me, right? World War III is not so far off. Because it always worries me, like, why does it have to come to this? Why can't countries just figure it out? Why do people have to lose their lives? And whether we like to admit it or not, this is just ego talking. This is just ego. It's one president's ego and another president's ego without people being willing and able to budge. That's just all it is. That's just all it is, in my opinion, man. You know, World War III is not so far off. And one thing that I have noticed about this ongoing conversation is how stupid some people are. You have some people out here glorifying war. Yeah, you heard me right. You have people on social media glorifying war. I think maybe not social media, but I think video games primarily has done such a number on desensitizing people to what war actually is. I feel like maybe games like Call of Duty, Halo, and games like that, where you just pick up your gun and you're the main character, right? And you're just pew-pewing people and it's okay, it's glorified. I feel like very comfortable with downplaying the horror that war is. Nobody wins in war. Nobody wins in war. When it comes to war, nobody really wins. Yeah. Because guess what? Whether you win or not, you've lost. You've lost land. You've lost people. You've lost money, usually in the high billions. You've lost infrastructure. Even if you win, right? You've lost billions because you got to send your soldiers. You got to feed your soldiers. You're sending weapons. You got to make sure the weapons are, and this is not like a 30-day thing. It's an extended period of time. And who bears the brunt? The people. The average man, the average woman who did not declare war. But a lot of people are out here romanticizing war. I mean, I've seen TikToks of people talking about, yeah, when it's time to bomb them and I'm just going to go walk in there and do this. And I'm like, shut up. You're delusional. I'm not going to post those videos because they're incredibly stupid. You can go see them for yourselves. What? I don't think people understand how traumatizing war is. This is coming from somebody who is Nigerian. Now, as Nigerians, we don't have war. Like we had the Civil War, right? The Biafran War, which, ask any Eastern Nigerian, they will tell you they are still feeling the trauma of that. Speak to anybody, speak to any soldier that has been in war or somebody that comes from a country that is war torn. Let them tell you what war really is. It baffles me. I'm seeing so many people glorifying war as if war is a video game. And one thing that comes to mind is the people that are glorifying war are people that have never even experienced what war is. So of course you're going to glorify it. And the hypocritical thing with war is this. The people that get to declare war, they don't fight in the war. It's the darnest thing. The people that declare war on another country, they don't fight in the war, and their children don't fight in the war too. Isn't that the darnest thing? Isn't that the darnest thing? How can you sit in your office, in your high walls, protected by security, out here declaring war, and then sending average men and women who probably have no issue with the people on the other side to go and fight and die for a war? That is why I always try to tell people, use your brain. Stop being so party politics that you forget developmental politics. I am a developmental politics kind of guy. I am a developmental politics kind of guy. Why? Because we see the bigger picture. It's not about me, it's not about you, it's about the greater good. Party politics can typically get people narrow-minded, tunnel visioned. But when you're in a developmental politics mindset and space, you're looking at the broader picture. Like, why war? Why not figure it out? Because in the long term, war doesn't do shit. Yes, you're losing a lot of money, you're losing a lot of lives, a lot of resources. This is time that you could have used to discuss, to do business, to make money, to do tech. Why not focus on that? But you know what? War is profitable. That's something that I realized. War is profitable. A lot of companies make a lot of money, man, when there's chaos. But at what cost, you know? At what cost, buddy? It's the darnest thing. If you're going to declare war, your children should also go fight. That's me. You know? Your kids should also fight. You cannot sit there in your palace, declare war on people, and then your kids are nowhere to be found. And that's why I say to people, that's why I say to the average men and women, be very careful. Be very, very careful, because you have to protect yourself. You have to hold people to account. Stop being like sheep, where because you're from the same political party, you agree with everything they say. Learn to push back, because at the end of the day, this politician who you think is on your side, he's safe. He's not going to go fight. His kids are safe. His wife is safe. Have you noticed? It's the truth. The kings, the elites live far away from the trouble. They live far away from the stress. It's always the average men and women that have to die, that have to suffer. Not the kids, though. Not the kids of the rich, though. But you. It's the darnest thing. World War III is not so far off, ladies and gentlemen. It is not so far off. It's not so far off. It's not so far off. But to the people that are out here glorifying war, you guys are dumb, man. For real. Video games and Hollywood and Netflix have made you guys think war is this, glamorous experience. My word. I saw a guy on TikTok. He was driving his car and he was smiling, and the caption said, "When World War III begins and I have to go fight for my country." I just laughed. I was like, look at this guy. You've never fought in a war, for sure. Clearly, you've never fought in a war, you've never experienced war, you've never been in a war-torn country, so now you can romanticize it. This idea that when war kicks off, you are going to be like the main character. Buddy, that is not the case. Diseases on the front line, you've got diseases. People are being unalived in front of you. You might get unalived. You're not that special, buddy. Wrong place, wrong time, boom, you're gone. Villages getting invaded, women getting assaulted, kids getting brutalized. Your family, your loved ones. To those of you that are out here romanticizing war, your family, your kids, your wife, your husband, your grandparents, your parents, your loved ones. You think during a war time, everybody's just going to be sitting pretty, drinking tea? Your country. To that guy driving his car, romanticizing war. If war comes to your country, you think you're going to have a nice road to be driving on? Have a nice car to be driving on? Stop romanticizing war, guys. You look dumb.